Hi, this is Doug Blake from Coludis. In my last post, I talked about using an area site survey to look at your overall facilities and assess what flooring systems are going to work best for you. Once the decisions have been made about what type of flooring you're going to do, the next very important step you need, if your floors are going over concrete, you really need to look into moisture testing on your slab. Moisture is the number one cause of flooring failures of all types. And there's different types of floors that'll hold higher or lesser degrees of moisture, but every floor to some degree is subject to moisture failures potentially. So how do you test your floor? You can't tell by looking, do I have high moisture in my concrete or not? So you need to do some kind of test. For years, there were calcium chloride tests. There still are calcium chloride tests that will give you readings if done properly and in the right environment. They'll tell you how much moisture is evaporating out of your slab at what rate. In the last bunch of years now, the new tests that are much more predictable, reliable, and certainly our go-to for moisture testing are probes that you put in the floor. You drill holes in the slab, approximately 40% of the depth of your concrete. You insert these probes, cap them off, let them acclimate, and then you take a reading and it tells you the relative humidity of the slab, again, approximately 40% down. So if you have concrete that is reading with moisture content in the 90s, in the 80s, then many of the normal standard types of floor, mastics, if you're using carpet or tile, they have limits. Or if you're using epoxy, they have limits of how much moisture before you start to get issues from the moisture, delamination, blisters in the floor, things like that. So when you're talking to flooring contractors, you're considering a different type of system, whatever it is, make sure that you know what the moisture limits are and have your floors professionally tested. The tests require, if you do them by the ASTM standards, to do 3 tests in the first 1,000 square feet of floor and then 1 for every 1,000 square feet thereafter. Sometimes people do the full amount of test. Sometimes you can do some less, but you don't want to just do a single test on a 10,000 foot floor or a 20,000 foot floor. You want to get a good overall idea of the moisture levels in your concrete. The moisture is going to stay there. It's going to try to equalize with whatever's above that slab. And when you put down a non-breathable type of floor or a reduced breathability type of system on top, that moisture is going to continue to try to come up. And if those things aren't married up right, you're going to end up with flooring failures. And that's no fun for anyone. So again, important things to consider when you're selecting any type of flooring is knowing what the moisture content is in your concrete. And again, the right contractors are going to help you determine that. And if they're not talking to you about moisture, they should be. So I look forward to any comments you have, and I look forward to the next post.